Hi, this is Michael Wadika for WVVH Television. We're here in beautiful Mecox Bay for Oceana fundraiser. Oceana, we're going to have Jackson Browne performing here tonight and a lot of celebrity guests. So welcome, join us at WVVH Hamptons Television. Hi Nancy, how are you?
Just fine, thank you, Mike.
Good, good. Tell us a little bit about the event tonight.
Well, we are expecting upwards of 400 guests attending here.
It looks the size of this house, it looks like they can all sleep here as well.
Yes, and then a big draw that we have, of course, is that Jackson Browne will be performing.
Nice.
Yeah, but I have to tell you, I'm from California. So I'm not familiar with all the guests that will be here and all of the people who will be joining us.
None will be as cool as you, though.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Oceana and what you do in California.
Okay. Well, first about Oceana. We are the world's largest ocean conservation group, dedicated to protecting and restoring our oceans. It's very, very important that we have a crowd like this tonight because of what is happening in the Gulf. What's happening down there is just
horrible.
Horrible.
Bad.
And we're sending a boat down there, in fact, that will be down there for 2 months to really get a better grip on how bad this is, how deep it goes, how far it's spreading. The timing for a party like this is perfect because it cost us a lot of money to have that boat down there.
Right.
But in California, I run our events in Southern California.
And are you going to invite us over to Southern California?
You are more than welcome to come. It's on September the 10th.
Okay.
In Laguna Beach. We'll be honoring Pierce and Keely Brosnan.
Nice.
And Jeff Bridges.
So all of you viewers out there, make sure you call the station and make sure that we go out there to cover it.
There you go. There you go. Send in your votes that you get to go.
Yes, absolutely. So a little bit more. I understand that 71% is covered by water of the world.
Yes.
And beautiful mural that they've got done.
Yes.
What else are you trying to accomplish? Obviously awareness of what's happening with the oil, and that's just a horrible state of...
Another accomplishment for tonight would be to encourage people to join the Ocean Council. The Ocean Council is a group of individuals from throughout the world, headed by Sue Cohn Rockefeller. She has graciously given us a tremendous amount of her time and energy to be the president of this group of people supporting us, and that would be a great goal tonight, to see everyone sign up and say, yes, we want to be a part of the Ocean Council. And that would be a wonderful goal.
And how do people get a hold of Oceana? What's the organization? How do they get a hold of them on the website?
Oceana.org.
Perfect.
That's easy. OCEANA.org.
Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Sure.
200 elementary school students from the Benjamin Franklin International School created this amazing piece of art. It's done out of recycled plastic bags, and it's hand-sewn together, quilt-like, in a 2D form. Deanna Cohen is the artist and co-founder of the Plastic Pollutions Coalition, and has been working with plastic bags for 20 years to create art both aesthetically and that creates dialogue about current threats to our ocean's health. Together with elementary school teacher Ellie Krishner, they are inspiring students to discuss these topics, such as where does the trash go and how do plastic pollutants affect the ocean health. How do we reduce plastics in our daily life, and how we can communicate about the issues. Over the course of 4 weeks with this beautiful mural, students created sea life from plastic bags, from whales to schools to seaweed and coral. Crabs and lobsters are included as well. Diana Cohen and her team of 200 kids allowed this plastic ocean, bringing together the disciplines of science and art. Hi Tiana, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Great, thank you. Beautiful piece of art that you've done.
Thank you.
And you had little helpers.
I had a lot of help.
Right.
That piece was made over the entire month of May this year with kindergarten through 5th graders at the Benjamin Franklin International School in Barcelona, Spain.
Right, over 200 children, right?
Yeah, it was over 200 children, and with a lot of help from parents and some of the teachers as well. And the kids and their parents collected bags for about a month or two before I arrived at the school. And then we began cutting them up and doing lessons about the ocean. We actually had the opportunity to take all the 4th and 5th grade classes to see the Oceans film, the Disney Ocean film, which really helped a lot to give them a kind of sense of perspective of the ocean and how it's this really three-dimensional environment. And then we worked on the piece together. So they made sharks and whales and sea stars.
A bunch of different environments on there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It also kind of jumps right out at you.
It was a really fun project to make. It was a lot of work, but I think the kids got a lot out of it too. And we also developed a four-part teaching curriculum along with the piece, which taught the children about the ocean, taught them about adding a fourth R onto reduce, reuse, recycle, which is refuse, to refuse single-use and disposable plastics. So a lot of the kids came up to me during the following weeks and said, "Oh, I talked to my mom at home and told her we can't take any more plastic bags." And I said, "Oh, that's great. What did your mom say?" And she said, "Fine." So just really simple things. Or we talked about percentage-wise how many plastic bags an individual uses in a year if you accept them from the market when you're shopping versus bringing your own canvas bag. And apparently one person bringing their own canvas bag can save between 500 and 700 plastic bags a year, which is major. So when you say that to a classroom of kids, 20 kids, and they do the math, they get very excited. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, what I found is one of the other lessons we did was to talk about where things come from and what they're made out of. And a lot of kids know that, cardboard and paper is made from trees or made from plants. They know that glass is made from sand, or some of them did and some of them didn't. But most children and most adults that I meet actually don't know that plastic is made from petroleum. So when we have something like 1 billion tons of plastic entering the oceans annually, that's really comparable to the BP oil spill that's going on right now, and worth considering if you were empowered as a consumer to make choices where you chose other things rather than disposable plastics. I'm not talking about all plastics, but single-use or disposable plastics. If you had the opportunity to do that, how much you could save and then keep from being part of that influx into the ocean.
So raising awareness, you've done a wonderful job, a beautiful piece of art. Hi Lois, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
What a beautiful home. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. I'm so happy to have everybody here.
Yes. I guess 400 people. Are they all going to sleep over? Or?
I don't think we're 400. I'm hoping we're only 300. Let's not tell the fire marshals if we're more.
Do they all have a room? The house is spectacular.
Thank you. We'll have to, if it starts to rain really hard, we'll find a room for everybody. But thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your commitment to Oceana.
It started about a year ago. I had a friend visiting me from California who started talking to me about the work that Oceana was doing, and then I met Keith Addis, and turned out that Sue Rockefeller and I live in the same building in New York, and we decided that we'd be a real force together between Manhattan and the Hamptons, that we could make a difference and let people know about Oceana, because most people don't even know it exists. So I'm hoping that, especially after tonight, with the incredible array of people that we have coming, that everybody will walk away going, "Oh, now I know why Lois is so involved with Oceana." People don't really get it yet, but hopefully after tonight they will.
Well, it's an amazing contribution that you do with your time and also opening up your home. What are you trying to accomplish here with some of the people?
Truly, I want people to walk away understanding that supporting the work that Oceana is doing is equally as important as supporting breast cancer, lung cancer, lupus. We can go on and on with the diseases. Someone said to me yesterday, "Oh, well, I support all these charities. I just don't know if I can, support Oceana as well." And I looked them right in the eye and I said, without our oceans, you won't have to worry about supporting all those other charities. It's really important. People don't get it.
How long have you been in the Hamptons?
Oh, almost my whole life. I grew up living on the water, and actually the setting of our house here is not that dissimilar to the home I grew up in. So.
Nice. Well, thank you again for opening your home and your heart to Oceana.
Thank you for being here and for helping us spread the word. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm with Jim Simon, Executive Vice President of Oceana. How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Good. Tell us a little bit about the event and what you do.
Well, we're here to spread the word about what's happening with the oceans. We're basically taking too much life out of them and putting too much pollution into them, and we're talking about the solutions to that.
Right. Now, I know a little bit about the tops of the can, if you know that. Other than that, I'm a little naive towards it. Tell us a little bit about what people can do in order to help out with the ocean.
Well, the problems with the oceans are, first of all, we're taking too much life out of them. We inherited a world where we can harvest wild fish, but instead of harvesting them, we're basically mining them out. So we need to have more sustainable practices. We need to protect habitat. We need to have set and enforce reasonable quotas. And people can go to our website, www.oceana.org, and see what they can do to help out. They can help us write letters to decision makers. They can learn more about it, and they can join us.
Now, how does this affect like Montauk fishing? Obviously, we're in the Hamptons. Fishing is a major economy in the Hamptons.
Right.
Are you trying to have them cut back?
We're trying to preserve recreational fishing and commercial fishing. We want to see a world where there's plenty of both. The problem is that we're allowing the commercial fishing industry to continue unsustainable practices that diminish the opportunities for recreational fishermen and diminish the future, our ability in the future to continue to enjoy seafood.
Right. Now, how do we actually work with the people in international countries that, even if we put legislation in place, how do we affect other people from doing it and stripping the fish as well?
Well, Oceana, we're an international organization. We operate in the United States, in Europe, in South America, and Central America. So we're working on policies throughout the world, not just the United States.
Oh, great. So you're unaware of that.
Well, it's a global problem, so we really have to address it internationally.
Now, where should people, obviously, Oceana.org,
Right.
It's really important. What else can we do in order to make sure things get better?
Well, we distribute seafood cards, which we'd be happy to give to anyone who writes us or emails us that explains what seafood is more sustainable than others, so people can make their own choices. They should, be careful when they're outside and not litter.
Right.
And we can adopt personal practices that help sustainability as well.
Great. Outside of the U.S., what other sorts of countries are really being proactive towards this movement?
Well, the unfortunate truth is that there's no country which is doing really well. The United States is among the leaders, but that's among a class of nations in which there's really no one that's fully adopting practices that should be adopted. So I would say, in Europe is about on a par with the United States. South America is catching up.
Right. So we have to reach out, go talk to everyone internationally, get on the web, a lot of blogging. Do you guys do blogging as well?
We do blogging. We'd love people to come and join us on the blog.
Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about what you do for Oceana.
I work on policy, and I work on helping us maintain a business-like approach. One of the things that I think that makes Oceana distinctive is that we set very, very measurable goals and hold ourselves accountable to them, much like a business.
Absolutely. I'm with Keith from Oceana. Congratulations on today.
Thanks very much. Thanks for being here.
Yes, we were just telling everyone, you and I were chatting about your title. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm the Duke.
Duke?
I'm the board chair of Oceana and proud to be. I've been a part of this organization since it was started in 2001.
Right.
It was, for me, the evolution of a small ocean conservation organization that my great friend and client Ted Danson started 20 years ago. During the last couple of years at Cheers, he became a client of mine because my day job is managing writers and directors and actors in Los Angeles. And with no interest in the ocean other than loving the beach, I joined this small organization that Ted started simply to ingratiate myself with a new client. I had really no interest. It was completely Machiavellian, but it didn't take long for me to get very excited and interested in the issues, and it's been a super important part of my life for the last 20 years.
Now, it started 20 years ago.
Oceana started in 2001 when there was a recognition internationally that there wasn't a single international organization exclusively focused on ocean issues. And so a couple of major foundations, the Pew Charitable Trust, a couple of United States and international foundations put up the base funding to start what is still the only international organization exclusively focused on ocean issues.
Now, how has the growth been over the last handful of years? Obviously, awareness has come. You've got blogging, internet, as far as getting the word out. How has that helped you as far as growth of Oceana?
Well, you know, social networking is a huge part of all our lives in every dimension. Strangely enough, the disaster in the Gulf, which I absolutely wish had never happened and cost 11 lives, which is unforgivable, has been a really, really powerful wake-up call for people. Everyone here has wanted to talk to me about it. We're sending a boat there soon, 2 of our submersible submarines, to do research on how the water chemistry is changing, because it's going to, and we need to know how, and its impact on sea life and on seafood. We're lovers of seafood. I am particularly, and I think if you wanted to know our mantra, we're in the more business. We want there to be more fish, more great creatures for a longer period of time than looks like it's going to be the case if we don't change the way that we relate to these incredible resources.
Tell us a little bit about the international impact and what sort of countries you're working with.
We're trying to be in the places where we think we can have the most impact. We're here. We're in Madrid because the Mediterranean is incredibly important. The cover of the Sunday New York Times Magazine a couple of weeks ago was about the disappearance of bluefin tuna, which in 12 to 18 months could literally be extinct because they've been overfished ruthlessly and mindlessly. We have an office in England. We have an office in New York. We're about to open an office in France. We're starting an office in the Balkans, and trying to manage that growth in an intelligent way. But the problems are everywhere. You know, there's one ocean, but it has different idiosyncratic issues in different parts of the world, and different cultures relating to it.
Now, this is your first fundraiser in the Hamptons.
It is.
Tell us what you'd like to accomplish here.
We'd like to get people thinking about the fact that the power of this community philanthropically, which is so well known. Every night, tonight I think there are 5 events. Every night during the summer here there are events, and this is such an activist community, but still less than half of 1 cent out of every dollar that's spent on conservation goes to oceans, and that's got to change because there's so much at stake. So we're here permanently, we're not going anywhere, we're going to be back this time next year. And we're looking for people to join us because it's an important battle, particularly for people who have kids, and we'll have grandchildren because it's really, all these issues are going to really impact their lives.
Hi, Susan and David Rockefeller, how are you?
We are great.
Great,
Happy to be
thank
here
you.
tonight.
Yes. Thank you so much for what you do and your contribution to Oceana.
Well,
you're
thanks.
so welcome. Susan is the big wig at Oceana, as you know.
I'm the chairwoman of the Oceana Ocean Council, trying to get people interested, educated, and activated to become ocean stewards. So
And you've been doing it a long time.
I've been doing it for a few years. I got motivated after doing a film, co-producing a film called A Sea Change on ocean acidification, which is all about how carbon dioxide is affecting our oceans. And that got me motivated to become a more active ocean steward. And my husband is an avid sailor. We've been all around the world looking at beautiful ocean areas and talking to fishermen about what's going on with their artisanal fisheries, and realizing we have a problem and we need to get people to support Oceana, support the work of my husband's organization, Sailors for the Sea, and get the voice of conservation to the oceans.
Tell us a little bit about Sailors for the Sea.
Sailors for the Sea is a group a little like Trout Unlimited or even maybe Audubon, where we are encouraging the resource users, the sailors and boaters, to become educated about the problems in the ocean and then do something about them. And so we have a program called Clean Regattas. We hold a racing regatta somewhere, and every sailor will be disqualified from it if they throw their plastic in the ocean, for example. Simple little things like that gains awareness among sailors. We've had a couple of sailors who've been major donors to us who are big boat owners. We have lots of little boat sailors too who are volunteering, and it's really a wonderful thing, very important for the oceans.
Now we've got some exciting people here tonight.
Absolutely. We have Jackson Browne, who will be playing a good 45-minute set, and we have Deanna Cohen, who's an environmental artist who has done incredible work with pollution prevention. And we have Sam Waterston, who's a board member, and Keith Addis, who's our board chair, and a lot of other prominent people coming to support our cause, which is really fabulous since it's the first inaugural Hampton Splash event for Oceana.
Is there any opportunity of both of you getting up on stage and doing a set or so?
I don't know about a set, but maybe a dance.
All right.
We'll definitely dance.
Good. Well, we can't thank you enough for your contribution, your commitment for this cause. Thank you so much for everything you've done.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Gail and Sam, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Oceana is basically, we support anything and everything that has to do with the ocean, and that's why this event is going on this evening. I participated by helping out with the silent auction, and I'm very close with Sue Rockefeller, and helping getting all the sponsorships, and really trying to pull this together so we can get people to have more awareness of what's going on in the ocean. And I think there are thousands, especially with what's going on with the oil spill. I mean, this is very crucial time right now. So this is very important time, and to bring it here to the East Coast is pretty exceptional.
Absolutely. Now, the two of you from the area?
Yes, well, we live in New York, but we have a house out here.
Great. And what's your favorite beach as far as coming out here?
Flying Point.
Yeah, if you spoke to our kids, they'd say Cooper's because of the snack bar, but we're Flying Point fans.
Great. Well, it's important that we do everything for our children. Thank you so much for your time and commitment, and we're going to see you in class.
Great.
Yeah, you got
I'm
it.
with Mario and Ramona. How are you today?
I'm really good.
Very good. A little warm, a little humid, but
Great choice of colors. You got blue,
blue.
dark
In honor
blue.
of Oceana, the charity.
Very
Absolutely.
nice. Very nice. Thanks for taking the time and raising awareness.
Absolutely, it's very important. But I like.
We think it's very important, especially with what's going on in the Gulf and the oil spill, and we really got to take care of the oceans.
Are you guys beachgoers?
Absolutely, we love the beach, definitely.
And we can't survive without water, right?
Absolutely.
And what's great about Oceana is they not only work with the water, but they work with the environment to help the water. Because a lot of times people, like fishermen, they'll do the fields, like the rice fields, they'll do certain things environmentally that ruins the water. So they work in conjunction with the environment and the water, which I think is really crucial and very important.
And what's amazing, it's an international organization, which you don't come across too often, especially all the different fundraisers we do out here in the Hamptons.
No, I agree. We went to the event they had at the Terrace with Alicia Keys was there,
that was fun.
and they gave
the
some
city,
speeches, and it was I was very impressed with the organization, very impressed.
Thank you so much for taking the time out with Oceana.
My pleasure.
So, is this your first time to the Hamptons?
No, by no means, but I haven't been here for years and years, and I was just saying, I just got out of the ocean, and it's some ocean you have here. It's so great.
Absolutely. Cooper's Beach voted #1 in the country.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we heard that. So you can go down there, hang out, maybe swim there tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about Oceana and your commitment.
Well, I grew up by the sea, so I was a ready target. I just didn't understand. I think, like a lot of people, we look out at it and it's so beautiful and can't believe that there could possibly be anything wrong. But there is a lot wrong, and really right now, this generation will either do something about it or we're going to lose the ocean. Certainly the ocean I grew up with will be gone and not retrievable, which is a really scary idea. But we could do something about it, and if we do, we own the result.
Absolutely.
We'll be able to look at the
and it's something we took for granted for so long.
Yeah. Well, it is indeed something we took for granted for all my life.
Right. And not only that, now awareness. You've got a big voice, you're well recognized, and you're raising awareness.
Well, I can point, and maybe people will look, but if it didn't make any sense, it wouldn't make any difference. This makes total sense. So anybody who looks will be convinced.
Now, it's an international organization. Have you been traveling overseas, seeing different practices, not only in the U.S., but other areas?
Well, I've been working until very recently, until Law and Order was ended its run, and I haven't been able to travel. But Oceana has offices in Alaska and in California and in Chile and in Spain and around the world. So
Great. Well, we really appreciate your commitment. Congratulations on Law and Order, and really thank you so much for spending time in the Hamptons and your commitment to the ocean.
You're very nice. Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time out tonight.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm happy to join forces with Oceana and the good work that they've been doing. I've been in the last year, I've been hearing so much about what's going on with the ocean, and I mean, starting with about a year ago, I began hearing about this. Well, it depends on who tells it, but a mountain of garbage, like another continent of trash, or it's not really garbage, it's plastic. It's really like, and it's not really an island. It's just this really, area of the ocean that is becoming plastic. That is, where plastic outweighs plankton 7-to-1, where fish are actually consuming the the plastic, because that's what there is out there. And of course, we consume the fish. Everybody here has traces of BPA in their system. I mean, if you measured it, if you went to the doctor and measured it, you find that you had a certain amount of BPA. Bisphenol A is an endocrine disruptor, and it impairs, people's brain function, as well as just developing, children. I mean, anyway, so every time I look up, there's a new study, and I think it would be wonderful if groups like Oceana had the kind of impact that would result in legislation that would people really demand of the politicians that they intercede on behalf of the planet. And the ocean is like 90% depleted.
Well, with your help and support and awareness, we can quit taking advantage of the natural resource that we've had for so long.
What we need to do is change the way we live, and it really means not drinking from plastic bottles, and not using something like plastic to deliver something that is, in a way that's meant single use. Is meant to be thrown away. I mean, it's a crazy thing. What they're really selling you is the bottle. They're not selling you the water. The water is, you can have for free. It's the convenience of having the plastic right there at your disposal that's costing you $2. You don't even drink the whole bottle, because as soon as you open it, you're not sure which one's yours, so you pop another one. It's really a scam. It's really something that is because of our insistence on having things right at our fingertips. We can change that. That's something you could change. This has only been there for 30 years. I mean, we got pretty far without it. You look around at a place like the Hamptons, you think, now I know why people decided to live here. It's not immediately apparent when you go to a place like Manhattan, because it's all, it's all man-made, it's all concrete. But when you say how beautiful it is out here, when you say what kind of nature there is, and what kind of waterfowl, and and crabs and things, and good things to eat, and how beautiful it is, you know why people came here. But it won't be that beautiful. It won't sustain life that long unless we do something.
And this is one of your first visits to the Hamptons, correct?
It is, yeah. It is my first time here. Of course, I've read about it. I've always, heard about it. You always hear about these parties at the Hamptons.
Sure, and now you're part of the parties
now
at the Hamptons.
Yeah.
So we're really fortunate to hear you sing. We really appreciate your time and your commitment.
Thank you.
So much for everything that you do. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Buildings keep on children. My creation revealing secrets by and by, by and by. When the light gets lost within us, when the light gets lost within us, when the light gets lost within us, reaches the sky.
This is Michael Wadika for WVVH Hamptons Television. Thanks for joining us on The Real Hamptons. Look forward to seeing you soon.